Hey guys, we are here with some Death and Taxes. I personally am a big fan of Death and Taxes. That is to play, but that is only the playstyle itself. I am not a big fan of it as a competitive deck because I think it's not particularly good. But we are in the modern leagues. Competitiveness isn't necessarily the number one factor when to play a deck. I'm not playing a high stakes tournament. And I think this deck still does have some things to it. Stoneforge Mystic, very powerful. You have some Esther Sentinel plus Thalia draws that really get our opponents who are playing lots of spells into a bind. And we do have some other powerful spells. So, that being said, I'm going to be playing this deck more for fun rather than for competitiveness. But if you want to come around to having some fun with me, keep on watching. We're also playing, Yorion, so we get the good old 80 card package, which is always fun. Always Yorion. The deck. Let's see what happens. Well, I'm going to keep this hand. It looks like we don't have white mana, but we really do because of the Marius Call. So, and we have Aether Vial. Even if we didn't have white mana, I would almost surely keep this because the field plus Aether Vial. Taxes items. Should be a pauper list. Well, I don't have a pauper list myself, so my inkling is that I'm going to be going towards Infinity. But Black Fairies is supposed to be very, very good as well. And, we'll see what ends up actually coming out. Because I saw people playing it. We'll look at the previous Tron. This should be a good matchup for me. Seeing as we are playing many Ghost Quarters and Field of Ruins and such. I like how I'm looking at it, and one of the deck lists is called One Bone Broken for Every Twig Snapped Underfoot. It's a classic deck title, alright? It's just elves, yeah. Sounds good. So, I mean, with this deck, I assume getting 7 mana, it's not necessarily going to be the hardest. Okay. Well, I'm going to Ghost Quarter them in their draw step, I think. This land out. Unfortunate. If we were on the play, this hand would be like infinitely better because we get to feel it ruin and then Ghost Quarter. Instead, because we were on the draw, I'm significantly further behind. No, I think there's a modern metagame right now to play a Marius Call. This would be the one. Yes. Sentinel. Let's crack the tower. Yeah, it seems like Demir Fairies is still going strong, which is not surprising. And that Tron is probably still good along with, auras and some other stuff that's, people don't necessarily have the right interaction. Stoneforge Mystic play a Giver. I think I want to play a Giver here. And then we'll play Stoneforge Mystic out via the Aether Vial. Because we can't really activate Stoneforge Mystic regardless next turn because we're going to be using Field of Ruin 99% of the time. So, makes it pretty easy for us. That's unfortunate. Basically, the only way I could really see myself losing was to them. All natural draw. That's life. Got punished for not playing out the Misha's Factory. So, but it's not the end of the world. Got very punished here, it seems. Highly unfortunate. Let's go get compleant, I believe. My game plan now, I think, is going to be Flicker Wisping their Tron land so that they don't have Tron on their turn. So, activate Stoneforge Mystic, and Kaldra Compleant. Attack. We want to get in as much damage as we can right now. I'm going to Flicker Wisp on the end step. Their tower will come into play on their next turn. We have a draw step to find something. So, I mean, there's definitely downside. I'm not saying that there's not downside playing Yorion. You have less nut draws. You don't have Eighth Valor in your opening hand as much. But there's a lot of upsides pitching to Solitude to have a good value element, getting to be able to essentially play an 8th card in opening hand. Last one is somewhat concerning as we lose 3 permanents to it. Not the end of the world. Heck, sure. I'm sure they're going to be using this blast zone, so it's not too bad. I think the 1 damage here is negligible with the Giver runes, but the potential that they don't actually pop this is enough for me to leave it back. Since doesn't really change anything. Taking 9 here. I think I'm gonna get all the Skyblades here. That still makes sense. Sort of Fire and Ice, I guess. No, yeah, I want all the Skyblades. Because if their only other spell is Workwell Engine, then this gets around that. Ugin is obviously the worst case scenario. Ugin just basically straight up beats us. Now, I guess it doesn't just straight up beat us. We can still attack with Mistress Factory, potentially get them all the Skyblades down on it for like another thing. That's not much, Mr. Streamer. You know, when you take into account the fact that I don't think I've ever gotten more than a combined like 20 trophies. Ooh. Think we have lethal here if they just get Snaring Bridge? I believe I have exactly lethal, unless they have a land play here. Star gets me potentially. Star. I attack with this. Attack with that, and then I put all the Skyclaves on it. Hit them for 5. So I'll activate this. Hit Karn for 3, hit them 1. Thalia, pass turn. Flicker Wisp can just win us the game on the spot, depending on what type of card they have in their hand. It's their next payoff. Nope. This case for us. What is this? Interesting way to tap. It's only upside for us if they taps like that. Please don't be Ugin. Ugin obviously just kills us. Yeah. Karn, they're down two cards. If they get this to their hand, I think they're like just dead. Okay, they don't do that, which is nice. They plus, then they are not dead. Close to it though. Do they have another spell in their hand? That's unfortunate. Oh no, they can't play because of Thalia. Oh my god, that's actually huge. Okay, so they got rid of it. Yep. So let's see. So we can attack with this, equip all the Skyclaves here. That's not bad as well. So I can do this. Good Forest. I should have done that post combat because if they have what's it called? They have Dismember. It's pretty bad for us. Yeah. Dismember would be a disaster, but I imagine they don't have it based on how they played. Now we can potentially just get cards stuck in their hand as well, and I can re-equip this Mauled Skyclave somewhere else and attack with my Mischief Factory potentially as well. Depending on what they have in hand, that crack could have just killed them. What's this? What is this? It's pretty disgusting. Flicker Wisp spill is just a winning thing. Though, we can get Yorion. 50 trophies. I don't think I could get 50 trophies. That was good for me, I think. Part am I worried about out of the Tron side? I think really anything. Whereas I think getting in for this 2 damage could matter a lot. Oh, they accidentally have 6th their turn. Okay, they're dead. Well, sucks for them. I will take what I can get from the middle coding. I have to imagine they do. Sorry, opponent. I mean, obviously, if they have no dismember, it doesn't get them out of this. Warping Whale can get them out of this though. After the misclick. Well, I will take what I can get. If it was limited, I would be fine putting up to like 50. I think I could get like 50 trophies in a 55-day period. It's not that, I wouldn't be that uncommon, I don't think. I mean, maybe I couldn't do that actually now because I'm pretty bad at limited. But like in the past when I did play limited formats, I could get like 10 plus trophies in like a couple days. And you wouldn't even have to play that much. He said, oh shit. Oh, yeah, he ripped tower and he's gonna have Oolong. Well, that feels bad for him. It feels bad for him. Very fairly unfortunate. What do we not want here? I think I need Batter Skull. Shoot the beginning like every time here. Run even monsters. Do I even want anything else? Do I care about anything else? Magistrate doesn't do anything. Sanctifier doesn't do anything. Priest and Recipes. Well, I mean, Recipes technically does something, but not the card I want to bring in. Tame Priest, no. Force Thunder, no. At Exile, maybe. That's Solitudes. Yeah, no. I think I'm just going to keep it the same after the Atlantis switch. Expert. Wouldn't know. How long? What do you mean by how long? Prince ended at 44 trophies, I believe, and Spike ended at 33 trophies. Not 33, sorry, 42. Oh, yeah. It's the 7 that my opponent kept on the play. Spike, yeah, no, I saw. Can I keep this hand? I don't think I can keep this hand actually. I think I need like a ghost quarter. Yeah, this hand looks like infinitely better. I have a ghost quarter, we have a vial on one. We have a field of ruin, and we have a Thalia, and like a bunch of great cards here for us. Yeah, pretty unfortunate that Principe seems to have done the split at 4-0. Though, I mean, a bunch of people did this as well. I don't know if Principe knew that he was, or Prince, however you want to say it, knew that he was going to get the subs afterwards. But I mean, people do this. Like a bunch of people do this like all the time. So maybe it feels like a bit worse because Spike gifted him 400, like 400 subs. But this is not an uncommon thing. It happened in Lacey a couple times with what's his name, the Delver guy who used to play a lot at Lewis CBR, I think it was. Got through. No, he gifted 400 to Prince. I'm pretty sure. What I remember yesterday. I mean, yeah, no, I'm not gonna say anything more about the certain people, but I'm not like surprised. I'll just say I'm not surprised. Something that happens a lot. Something that has happened previously. Wait, did I just kill Urza's mind and that's what they got? I am like a complete idiot. I'm literally a complete idiot. I thought they would get tower. I just didn't even notice. That's that's on me, boys. That one's on me. That's pretty unfortunate. I don't know. What's my fault though? I mean, yeah, Wizards of the Coast could literally care less about this, I believe. I mean, I assume they're just gonna play tower here. If you don't play tower, I'm gonna like be incredibly confused. Makes sense. All makes sense. All makes sense. Confused by that. All makes sense. All makes sense. This is like the worst possible scenario they could have put themselves in. Since this is a bit off-topic question, saying that paper events can't be organized yet due. Yeah, Channel Fire organized multiple GPs all around the world for Flesh and Blood. Any idea what's going on? Channel Fireball does not care about COVID restrictions, and Wizards of the Coast does. I think it's pretty simple, right? I think it's pretty irresponsible to run basically any event with lots of people that like is in a closed space. If he is one of the closest with his coworker. Wizards of the Coast contracted out Grand Prix to Channel Fireball. Yeah, Channel Fireball knows how to run Grand Prix, and they are just literally like somewhat relaxed on They just say, "Oh, you only need a mask." That's it. Basically, no other real limitations in place to like stop spread or anything else. So yeah, I think it's irresponsible. Like for all events in Europe, you can, but then you run a tiny risk of like people not wanting to like play your events or like other stuff like that, which I think is also dumb. That was a pretty good draw. That's true. And like I think people saying like, "Oh, you need we like." There's I think more important things in life than a Magic the Gathering Grand Prix. I think making sure that you don't like die from COVID or get COVID, I think is somewhat important. That's unfortunate for them that they did not know how the owner. Unfortunate for opponent there. Just gonna put him on a 2-turn block here though. So, yeah. What do you mean by just fine? Doesn't like Texas have some of the highest rates of COVID? And aren't there loads of places that are like isn't loads of hospitals having to like have incredible ICU intensive care unit, yeah, ICU problems because of COVID, right? I'm not quite I don't quite understand what you're saying. People got used to COVID. You mean people stopped caring about spreading COVID? Do you mean that like companies like, the US Open and the Olympics have much more incentive to get, these events going because the industry behind it is so much bigger, and the industry behind a competitive Grand Prix is peanuts compared to the other stuff that Wizards of the Coast is doing. I'm not quite understanding what your point is. Like comparing the U.S. Open to Wizards of the Coast is like I don't know. It's like comparing a It's like saying why is my Nintendo Entertainment System, my NES, not have the capabilities of my Nintendo Switch? Like it's like can't compare the two things. Very very different things. I'm not trying to like make fun of you, Laplos John, in any way. I'm just trying to like understand where you're coming from and like want you to understand why I say the remarks that I am saying. Is that your point? But what do you mean by normal? Like, do you understand the restrictions that they have to put in place and an open space versus a closed space, ventilation versus not? People that care about certain restrictions, people that don't, etc., etc. How many trophies did you have last season? I think I had like 8 or 9 between all of the leagues that I played, like between different formats and stuff. I don't care about Undead Augur at all. Let's see. That's it. That's in an open space. Open space versus an enclosed space is incredibly different, especially for viral diseases or like viral infections or whatever it's called. I can't quite remember. Very, very different. Let's live what you were seeing. I mean, there is significantly more problems than just death. There's long-lasting health implications that we don't fully know of yet. There's been studies to show that there's like very bad things. Fab GP's biggest neutral. It's not very different from Magic. Oh, my example is that those are incredibly unsafe situations in which I would not want to attend. People can attend. I think they're incredibly unsafe and poor to do. I should have played a Mary's Call there, probably. Back for 2 in the air, I think. Yeah. And let's look at Fab, which is a um, incredibly competitive minded TCG, whereas Wizards of the Coast is not as concerned with it and doesn't need competitive events to drive its sales, whereas Fab does. I understand people wanting to play big events. I would love to play a paper Magic event if I felt that it was like safe. I mean, you have to weigh like where's USGPB? 3,000, 4,000 players, I think, depending on the format. That is. If it was limited, I could see it being GP Vegas size. Like, look at Fab. Fab is like a no-name game, essentially, compared to Magic, and it had like 1,000 players for like a pre-release and like 700 for a main event. That was in Vegas. Imagine the first post-COVID like restrictions somewhat lifted because of like actual, like we have come to the point where COVID is not going to like be incredibly detrimental to people who get infected by it, or infection rates are incredibly lower. That event will be humongous. It'll be like one of the biggest, not the biggest GP that will have ever happened. Especially if it happens somewhere like Vegas, that's a hub that people want to go to. I mean, there's if people want to like go to these events, you can make the argument that if they want to go, they should have the right to go. But I mean, they're going. There's implications that they are going to hurt themselves a lot because of COVID. I'll just take two. I don't really care about taking two. Block that. I think. Assume they're going to target this, and then I'll get rid of it. And then they'll like use removal spell on it. But I don't think I can let this like actually get bigger. Um, I mean, a person could be holding like COVID, not necessarily show symptoms, and then hurt someone. The problem with it, there's a much further problem is that someone gets COVID and then infects someone who doesn't have the ability to get the vaccine because of health limitations that they have. So there's much more implications than just I should have also pathed their thing. I don't know why I didn't. I'm kind of talking too much. Let's do this. Let's just get rid of this. I don't know. There's a bunch of different arguments you can make. You can go like, oh, people have personal liberties and can do whatever they want, but then they end up hurting other people because of their actions. Or, you can say they can do whatever they want, and if they die, it's their fault. Do whatever they want, or not do whatever they want because, they don't necessarily understand what they're doing. Are people smart enough to make their own decisions in situations like this, etc.? There's so many different arguments for so many different things. Just all a matter of how you want to argue it. I can think of like every argument for like either side, but it's like, should I share my own personal beliefs and exactly how it is? Because I don't know if people quite want to hear that. Yeah. But the problem is you have the potential. Even though, like, oh, if I go to a big gathering or whatever and I get COVID, that's on me. But the implications that a lot of those people who get infected by it have to use taxpayer dollars to pay for hospital beds that they then have to use, and then you can also hurt people that can't get vaccinated and don't have the choice to do so, and then you spread it to them, and it all goes down a hill. But you know, et cetera, different implications of actions that people have and the consequences they pose down the road. You could argue about this forever. No matter which one. One's playing Mayhem Devil deck. I don't know if I care about that too much. Yep, I mean, that's a good argument for trying to reduce exposure. Let's stop talking about it. It doesn't really matter because people will never change their minds about this. That's a guarantee. People at this point have set up shop and are not going to change what they think about nearly anything. That's the way it is. I think the hardware doesn't really matter in this matchup much. It's got 6-2. Let's do this. I think we're gonna use the bathroom, right? I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Did some like squats the other day, and I feel like I shift more my weight to like my right side or something because I feel like a bit hurt in my like right side, like my lower back, but not my left side. It's kind of weird. Know which formats you're going to tend to lean towards during the challenge? My guess is modern, probably, because I still need to create YouTube videos. Modern's my go-to. I mean, I'm not saying where I'll necessarily get most of my trophies from, but I'm saying where I'm going to put, a lot of my time playing. Scared, pick my stoneforge. I think the easiest one to get trophies for would almost surely be vintage for me, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's the right like. The trial is enticing, but not as enticing as getting down a kaldra compleant against this. As enticing as that. They're really going deep. And then they can sack it. Oh, so smart, so smart. Just to get trophies. No, it's the easiest. It's not the easiest to get trophies, but I mean, most leagues are just fairly easy to get trophies in. But actually maybe modern is the easiest because of the fact that you just play against so much nonsense. So many players that are like newer to MTGO or newer to the game. Because like modern's the most popular. So likely for that to happen. Huh. I actually want to do this. I don't want to get my Aether Battle down, but I could also just path to play Belcher. Actually kind of down to just path to play Belcher, actually. And then get the Kaldra down as well. If I had to get trophies with control decks, what would be the easiest one to do it in? Probably Legacy. Actually, time-wise, maybe not Legacy. So Legacy control decks go on. Let me think. What would be the quickest one to do? What would be the hardest for a control deck? Or the easiest for a control deck? Yeah, Legacy is interesting and fun sometimes, but like also, I mean, I like playing Legacy, but like the last time I played Legacy, I also just like got Doomsdayed on turn one like twice, and it's just like, okay, that's. And I'm not saying twice as in like it have to be twice in the same match, like two matches in a row. They just like turn one Doomsday twice. I was just like, this is just like whatever. I just don't really want to play this. A lot of the I also got like JPA went like turn two show and tell Emrakul double force back up. I'm just like, okay, this is like just feels kind of bad. What do you mean? Here's our solution if you want to fix modern. There's two things you can do. You can either, literally just create more cards to try and make it more diverse and like have game plans that people like want to play. People enjoy that is somehow diverse in a way that like it isn't right now. Or you can do a host, I guess not a host, a lot of bannings and unbannings. Those are your options. You don't really have other options. No, control's very playable in vintage. I mean, I guess it depends on your definition of control. I would say Jeskai is like a control deck, the way that it's built. I mean, I would personally like, although it's never going to happen, for them to ban like 50 different cards all at once. That would make me very happy. Yeah, Bug I would say is mid range. I would call Bug a control deck. I would not, or not Bug, sorry. I would call Bug a mid range deck and Jeskai control. The problem I have is like, okay, you do a Bandwave Modern Horizons 2 cards. Like, Modern before, like, people may say that Modern is like bad right now. Which I would not fully agree with yet. I think there's a lot of things to still be explored. Because Modern Horizons 2 is still like broken. And there's probably things that people haven't like done yet with it. But the problem that I have is if they ban Modern Horizons 2 cards, you will go back to what was before it, and that was like ungodly boring. Just like Blue Red Prowess and like Heliod. Like Blue Red Prowess just like trying to turn through you, and like Heliod trying to turn through you basically, and like there were a few other decks that were like okayish. It was just like ungodly boring. I did not expect that. Got me there. Like the decks that were around before, I can like if someone could show me some top 8s or top 32s, it was just like so many super boring decks. I feel like felt like I was almost gonna like quit Magic and streaming during that time. Like you probably noted, like during that time, I was like so just like dejected and like didn't want to play like anything. And then right before that, it was Cascade Valky. And then before that, I don't remember what was before that. Was there something that was broken before then as well? I think I'm winning this race. It's playable. I'm fine. I don't think Hardened Scales is really playable at the moment, though. The problem with like Ragavan is I don't know. I just think it just creates incredibly repetitive gameplay. It's just a lot of cards that I think are like, okay, maybe this isn't bannable in like power level because everything else also got incredibly powerful at the same time. But it's just like incredibly unfun. When it said well played man, hope to play again. I'll give him the GGs. Never unbanned combo in modern. I mean, the problem that I had, combo can sometimes be interesting, but a lot of the combo decks were trying to be like a ship sailing in the night. Like I like they would just say, I have no interest in interacting with you. I have no interest in playing like any sort of straight up gameplay. Anything that is like you had like Neoform, like Belcher, Oops all spells. Like these decks are these decks are not trying to like play Magic, and like they're not trying to make it so like anything is happening. Good prowess. You can say that that's true, but was it gameplay that was compelling in any way? I don't think so. This hand is. I'm gonna keep it and like lose. I don't know. I think it is a net positive to ban decks like Belcher and Oops all spells. Like I don't think those decks should ever exist, regardless of if it's called like a check on things. It's just like it's not fun. At least I think, and I think a large majority of people would agree with that. There's obviously people that love playing those decks, but I think they're in the minority of players. I don't think you can like. I don't think anyone in good conscience can say like Magic is better when people are casting and playing the card at Goblin Charbelcher. Well, it has the good old yes turn 2. That is unfortunate for me. I mean, I said in the minority. Like, there's a reason. There's a load and a lot of people that when they interact with Sodec, they basically say like, I don't enjoy playing against you because the decks you play are incredibly unenjoyable. It's like not you as a person, it's just like the decks. It's like you know you're playing in Sodec, like almost everyone just like groans. It's like, okay, we are not playing a game of Magic in any way that I like expected or wanted to play when I signed up for this tournament. And I think a lot of people I should have I supposed to. I don't know if I'm supposed to solitude there. Like, I don't know. And you can argue that like there's skill or there's like, deck building prowess and all these things, which I wouldn't necessarily disagree with you in certain spots, but also to the same extent, there's just like a lot of oops I win, like you can't do anything about this. They really have planes? That's unfortunate. Or not planes, they really have the base play around. Their hand is very, very good, it looks like. Wait, how's he? What is the coast shield? What did he do? Very much. I agree, but you know, I have to argue as well how much of that was skill versus how much of that was me not having skill with the deck versus me having complete apathy when playing. And I'll double walk here and then give her runes. One of them will be pro colorless. It's also fun because they just don't do anything and lose. Yeah, I would completely agree. I would completely agree. Have another matter shaper. Okay, that's completely fine. It's annoying. So, you know, so it's like, are you truly like? Oh, I just can't expect people to say that it's a net positive. Whoa, whoa, whoa! They're attacking with the TKS. They're smashing. They they're locked out of another spell this turn because they play Matter Shaper first. I'm just gonna do this. Just eat this for free. Whatever their attack was gonna be, it was just gonna be like god awfully bad. Alright, eat that. That's great for me. Want to find solitude? That's what I hope to find. Huh. What is opponent thinking about? Because they can't kill my Archon of Marina. That's pro colorless. They have to put the 3 damage marked here and then 1 damage marked here. That's how the rules work. Hmm. Not see what's going on. Why they're taking some time. My throat's starting to hurt again. Ask them. Okay, they said damage and ordering seems to be broken. I'm explaining to my opponent how damage works. Still playing Pioneer. I plan on playing some more closer to the Mana Traders event. But right now I think I'm like in a scrum in the leaderboard, like a 5th through 10th place. My opponent said, "Why is that? I should be able to assign what creatures dealt damage first." And I said, "You did when you ordered blockers." Like I don't understand. Yeah, they banned the deck that I did well with. So although I have done well with the red black Arcanist deck, I think that deck is kind of good as well. Yeah, I'm not surprised people came up and did better than like 75%. I'm trying to explain to my opponent how blocking works. Always have been. Let's see. What do I want to do? I don't want to Skyclave Apparition the Matter Shaper, but then I'm in a weird spot. So instead, how do I want to do this? I think I'm gonna play another Arcanum Mary actually. Gives me the best opportunity to triple block the Reality Smasher. It's problematic for me. That's really bad. It's funny. Oh, we're gonna be going down to 2. We're gonna be dead to any Walking Ballista. I can really do about that. So I have to. Guess I could do. That leaves me in a bad spot too. I need to draw a Solitude bad. I think I need to do this. Just be dead to Walking Ballista. Played Flicker Wisp, but would have been a much better spot versus this. Or at least potentially better spot. Let's see the Ballista. Their hand was pretty good. When I get to turn the corner, I will get to turn the corner in a big way. I need to be able to get there first. It's going to take some fades from my opponent. They really have another Reality Smasher. Yeah, confused. Alright. That plays. That plays. That does play. Works. Works. Okay. We want here. Sentinel like kind of sucks. They got to them for some pass. That's all I want to do. Okay. Or deal. I'll keep the same. Anything from the new set you want to try? No idea. Personally, I don't really know what any of the cards do. I haven't really looked at like new sets nearly ever when they come out. Um, Probably gonna just wait to see what other people are doing, and take some of those ideas. Oh, no, Harbor's gonna be good here. And I mean, I imagine it's fine. I just like I'm kind of overplaying Ragavan unless I'm playing it in like a dedicated deck that can just like absolutely own. Maybe really bad, but I think doing this is fine. I mean, obviously, if they have natural trauma, it sucks a lot. But if they don't, not basically fine in the other situations. Memory Deluge be modern playable. Is that the white, like, fake the suiting? I guess people will try to make decks with it, but it's gonna be just, like, kind of bad. Spell flashback? Oh, I mean, I think that's largely an irrelevant card, because, like, control decks were not hurting on, like, 4 mana plus card advantage spells. I don't think that's where they were having a problem. I think they were having a problem, you know, in the early game interaction that does something. I mean, that's what I was, like, halfway worried about. They have, like, dismember there, but, I mean, we still have Field of Ruin for next turn, and then we can use that mana along the Plains system for Mystic as well. They did have Natural Tron. That's unfortunate. Very much so punishes us. I definitely was worried about, like, that exact scenario happening, but, I mean, I don't think I should be playing around, like, their nuts hands, and should be playing around, like, the other subsections of hands. Make it a lot better for us. Could be wrong, though. Could be wrong about my decision making. This guy's soft. Oh yeah, I'm not that worried about that. I don't think. Not too worried about it. I mean, I don't think control's actually that bad right now. I think the blue eye control deck that what's his name, that like Waffle Tapa and Trios and some other players have been playing is actually kind of good. It's actually pretty reasonable. But I mean, I think also it kind of sucks to say, but I legitimately think you don't want decks that are controlled to be tier 1 consistently. I don't think you want control decks to be consistently tier 1. I'm thinking about making a video about it. I don't know what my next slideshow video is going to be. Wow. The only other way is to make it so they can have 4 mana on this turn. I guess they could have had tower as well. But I'll give my explanation, my like short explanation why I don't think it should be. Maybe sound dumb. Game card history. Yeah. I just got a new video editor, so maybe I'll figure out how to edit them. Basically, I think when you make the control decks like the best decks, that means that their answers are very, very far and wide reaching, that they can basically deal with mostly any threat. And their win conditions are incredibly like over the top and quick and easy to get down almost always. Like this is like the strategy in which usually controls like tier 1 like got like Uro or Oko or something like, or like the win conditions are incredibly boring and like something like Teferi, Hero Dominaria, like minusing on itself is a win condition. Where it's like locking you out in some way, like it's a prison control, like Chalice of the Void, making it so you just like can't play your spells. Usually not that fun to play against as well. That's at least in modern. Like other formats, sometimes just okay. Every single one of your it's like counter spell. It's like counter, wrath, counter, planeswalker. It's like usually not the funnest thing to play against. And it's if those types of strategies are good, that means like the threats aren't like good enough to beat something like that. Even if they do slip through, like control has all the answers. I don't know. Maybe this is like sounds kind of dumb, but that's my thought behind it at least. Something I thought. I can, if I actually worked on like writing it up, I could probably elaborate a bit more on that throat start. Maybe I need to make myself some more tea. Maybe I need to make myself more tea. Hey, well, you're dead if that's all that you have. That's good for me. I'll just throw this maul on here and should just be dead to that. Good. We're going to game 3, right? Make sure we go to game 3. Make sure this is game 2. It's like it's been going forever. My opponent's down like 9 minutes. Hopefully they don't just have like the Nutter Butters this last game. If they didn't. Okay. Yorion. No lands, no go. Taking the PowerPoint was on YouTube. Thank you. I think my first one was a lot better than my other two. How prepared I felt, how much knowledge I felt like I could give. But I think that's what happens when I like, basically put a month's work into the first one, put like a week's worth into the other two. Even like actually realistically, I only put like 2 days of work into the other one because I was kind of lazing around and didn't have enough time to work on the other videos that I wanted to make. Yeah, it's all good. And I'll get you flip this, I guess. Pick up 7. That's very scary. Very scary first land to see. They have Chalice here. That's fine. It's gonna suck, but not the end of the world. I'm not gonna go score to them. Like they're gonna have it some amount of the time here, which is gonna suck, but it's gonna suck when they have it, but hopefully they don't. Okay, they just have it again. It's a punish. Decided to not play around it. Decided to not play around the national. Got punished. Assume they're gonna name Ghost Quarter here. Sauce, please. You need to stop. You need to stop, Sauce. You need to stop right now. It says he's restarting. It says that he's lagging really badly, so it's interesting. They may, time out with how it's going. Huh. Gotta wait it out for them to come back. We're gonna wait for them to come back. I'm gonna go use the bathroom really quickly to pee again. Okay. It says that they joined the game again, so we'll see if they actually joined or not. Oh, to chew on. I know we can't path exile yet, but if they end up clearing Thalia, I'm able to. Looks like if I would have just ghost scored them, I probably would have been incredibly winning, but it's life. All of them get it. Their mana is basically irrelevant, so if they take my path, not too big a deal. If they take my solitude, not too big a deal. May just flicker wisp their source of spyglass and go score them. It's two. It's two. I'd really like to hardcast this solitude if possible, so I'm gonna try and wait on it because then I can flicker wisp it as well. Really, really good for me if I can do that. Wow. Okay. 50-50. Lost the 50-50. It's pretty unlucky. Pretty unlucky. What are you gonna do? Lost the 50-50. Had to do one of them and just pick the wrong one. Sky Sovereign. Well, Sky Sovereign can't cast. That's good. Lost on a 50-50. Pretty unlucky. Maybe I'll get him next time. Lost in the 50-50 against the Tron player, or the 33% on the Tron player earlier as well. I just have to take this. I think I have to go. Because I can't exile this Walking Ballista. They just get it with Karn. That's all they have. It's pretty unfortunate we lost 50-50 because that 50-50 basically lost us the game. They just played power play. That's the yes. Trying to find a clean answer to this ballista. Well, you can just block here. Okay, they can only pump it twice at 4, 6, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, they can only pump it twice, so block. Wait, what? 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 What just happened? Another ballista doesn't kill us. Okay. That's confusing. It's Dry Sovereign. Okay, that's fine. That's completely fine. It's no big deal. Deal with this. Okay, that's a bit of a bigger deal. Okay. Maybe fine here. Maybe fine still. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Attack, we take 8 here. I Solitude the Wormcoil Engine. I then attack the Karn. So we take 8 here. Attack the Karn, Flicker Wisp this, exile this. We hope that the last card in their hand is nothing. Okay, okay. But to win it, maybe. Solitude. I don't think I'm supposed to do anything with my. I think I'm supposed to leave my Field of Ruin up and not play Thalia, especially because I can hardcast the Thalia compleant next turn. Now we exile this, and maybe we have found our way back in. Good. We need to dodge a few draw steps here still. Okay. Take the 3. I'm going to hit them back, then play Kaldra Compleant. Unless I draw a land, then I'm going to put Yorion into my hand, cast it on this, and then They're really playing Seagate Wreckage. Wow. Wow, okay, this is problematic for us. They get now. Engine back, maybe? Seagate Wreckage. Really? I have not seen that card in a long time. Okay. Find our way out of this just yet. They're low on time. Mystic Forge too well. That card. Mystic Forge is going to be a problem. Hopefully, we kind of have some duds for a turn or two so we can get our kaldra compleant online. We can dodge a few here. And we dodged one. Oh, they can Seagate Wreckage now. Dodge another, hopefully. Reality Smasher. You can the ineffable. That's fine-ish. It's not as fine. That was a very, very, very good draw for us. That was a very, very nice draw for us. Because it makes so they can't really keep going with Mystic Forge. That should that would be pretty good. Smallest dust. Pretty disgusting. Pretty disgusting that that's dead. Well, I mean, we had to dodge basically that card, I think. Need to draw Batter Skull off the top now, or Stoneforge Mystic. Stoneforge Mystic. Needed to dodge a lot, but couldn't dodge forever. Could not dodge forever. Fortunately, they hit. I don't know how many turns in a row. They sure did hit. Sure did hit. Unfortunate. I mean, I think we had close to like their draws were incredible, and I think they punted pretty badly. I think we should have had zero chance in this game, but instead had like a lot of chance in this game. I think we should have had 0% chance to win that game after we decided to not Ghost Quarter their natural Tron. And then we got kind of unlucky where if we didn't go for the Field of Ruin, we probably would have won as well, but we just like Field of Ruin the wrong Tron land and lost because of it, right? Yeah. We lost on a 50-50 and like a hope that they didn't have natural Tron. You actually have to snipping tool that other match actually. Because it needs to go into my shoot. I wanted to go into that to put it into my file of time gore. I'll go back and I'll reload it so I can put it in the file. I have to put it in the file, you know? Okay, we've got 0 lands here, so sand I'll keep. I will ditch Herois, I think. I'm supposed to ditch Solitude, actually. I'm actually going to ditch Solitude. Solitude. Wins. Yes. I'm supposed to play Ghost Quarter here in case I draw Ghost Quarter. Also because like they're more likely to go after my Leon and Arbiter when I have it back up. Yeah. That last game also they had the like game one. Let's go. Had the game one like all the stuff to get me to after like turn 2 TKS, turn 3 Smasher, turn 4 Smasher. Got punished, didn't I? Got punished, didn't I? That's oh shoot. Kajucha still on the rise. Where will they stop? Oh, I think I'm supposed to go score them again, and then I'll Flicker Wisp next turn. Hmm. Yeah, it's 18. Not quite the amount that you would expect, probably. But that's how it does. What's another 6 hours? You would be surprised. Every hour after like the eighth hour is just ungodly brutal. Fortunate they are ripperoni, man. So I kind of put myself in this situation. I'd like to click Mr. Merctide, would you please? Thank you very much. Take that to a 3/3 instead of a 6/6. Attacks? How fun. I will attack for 3. Will be a long test. I've only done a 14-hour stream before. I think that's the longest I hit. Let's see. I think that's the longest I hit. Let's take a look. Oh, still only being able to cast one spell a turn. Next turn, I have 4 attackers that will just kill them. I guess I could play creature and then a removal spell. Still, I'm not great for them. Probably not great for them still. Oh, actually, my longest stream ever was 17.3 hours long. You guys started with a vintage prelim and ended with like a 12 a.m. PTQ. Let's see, where are we going? Sanctifier deck seems very good here. Death Exile seems great as well. CP seems good. Doesn't seem great. Young Arbiter is medium on draw, I think. Let's see what this calls. Um, Let's get Omega Greedy and go down 29 lands. Let's get Omega Greedy. I'll keep the sound. I'll keep the sound. 80 cards. Is that for the companion? Yes, it is for the companion. It's for good old Yorion. My greatest companion. My greatest companion, Yorion. Wait, my opponent's playing Castlevania. Okay, I don't quite understand what my opponent's doing. I thought I knew. I thought I was in the know. Turns out I'm the one being duped. Double Thought Scour. Yikes. Maybe they're just Blue Moon. It's possible they're just Blue Moon. Yeah, that's what my opponent was all along. Maybe that's what my opponent was all along. Shock. Pass turn. They're gonna take my Aether Vial? They're gonna take my Aether Vial? Death Exile. Okay, sure. Yeah, no, I'm still gonna lose. They're gonna bolt it, but I still think I like doing this. Dead. Look at these weird cards my opponent's playing. I deal with this land while I can. I mean, obviously it sucks, yeah, that I gave him that. But that's gonna happen like regardless if I do it on the upkeep or in the draw. Like, I do it. Have it again. Another Murktide. Yuck. Yuck, yuck, yuck. You can leave a counterspell. I have to play Torrance Saint Val, I guess. Perfect timing. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So if they do that. They just have counterspell up, right? So just. Oh, my tapping is so bad. My tapping is so bad. Argue that, maybe I should have left this up because of this. I'm going to try and get this up to 5. Lightning bolt me. I think I'm just going to, Resto Angel and block. Sucks. I think it's a necessity. Unfortunately. I think it's a necessity to do here. That bolt makes you think they have another bolt. The reason I didn't put Yorion into my hand here. That's really unfortunate. I just need to cast this. Sucks, but I'm just gonna lose. I need to hopefully draw another one or draw a Path to Exile or something. I need to cast it at least. No question about it. That was the worst case scenario for me, but Magic sometimes. Dead and gone, accomplished. Worse than a light bolt. I can't play our recipes. Okay, that was pretty idiotic of me. That was pretty idiotic. Definitely should have played my recipes first. And they can activate this, can't they? Oh, there's something. Whatever. Didn't matter. Was good. I think I played that game correctly. It just didn't work out. Wasn't meant to be. They had the double Murktide. Kind of crazy. I now realize that I think Sanctifier and Vex is probably bad because they're mono blue basically. It's a creature that won't die, so maybe it's just good because of that. Fire and Vex. Fire and Vex. This hit the graveyard, then exile it, or is it just exile it from now on? But to the graveyard, exile. Okay, so it's exile instead. I think they just have counterspell. I mean, we gotta get through the counterspells eventually, right? Wow. They had Thought Scour there? So they drew Thought Scour off the top? A little bit confused. Little bit confused. Got him with the Arcana variant. I'm just gonna throw this on the Sanctifying Book. Like, if they had a Lightning Bolt there, it would have been, like, pretty disastrous, so didn't want to mess around with that. Shit. You guys are not followed, you know. Have I chilled like it all day? Not followed, would appreciate a follow. Appreciate support all around. Follow my Twitter, subscribe to my YouTube, you know, give me that Twitch Primes, all that stuff. I don't chill all that often, but when I do, I would appreciate the help. Appreciate, you know, the benefits of the show. Hmm. Wow. Their hand must be bad. They're doing that. Back, I guess. Assume this will get lightning bolted. It's not. Wow. Okay. Let's see. I don't really care about the dead being done here. Sword of Fire and Ice seems fine. The Sword of Fire and Ice against the blue-red deck seems good. Seems good. Seems good. Sure. Path Exile. Scoop! Scoop! Scoop, 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 scoop. Stacks felt kind of good. Deck's feeling kind of good, though. Maybe Death and Tax is actually not that bad. I mean, I don't even remember what we played against. I guess we played against, like, zombies and some other stuff, but still. Huh. Yorion. Oh, don't you know? Companions are broken. When does leaderboard reset? 55 days, I believe. So I need to get a trophy every, like, other day to be on track. Are they playing against Dredge? Ugh. I got my board for this. Got Containment Priest, Sanctifier in Vec, Rest in Peace. Trans Magistrate is, Dark Blast is a problem. Got yes. I think it's more sideboard cards you're looking for. It's good they don't have a second land. We have 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What a good chunk. I'm snapping off Field of Ruin on this stomping ground. Let me tell you. So I'll do this on the upkeep. I think I'm going to beat my opponent this game. I've got a good feeling about it. What do you guys think? You guys think my opponent's going to be able to win from this spot? No, this unfortunately has to take this. Maybe I don't. Is this a May? Oh, it is a May. I shouldn't have done that. Slight mistake. Exclamation point deck should get you the deck list. A Stream Decker. Okay, no, Stream Decker just always does me dirty and just leaves, like, all the time. Bring these at the very least. Anything else? I think they love again. Jan's Magistrate stops some cards in the yard, like Box of Aganos. But, I don't know. I don't think I want it. Pretty important. I mean, they only have like one configure. I don't think I should bring it still. This is a mulligan. I think this is a keep on the draw. I think on the play I'd mulligan it. Land. Never mind. I should have been more specific. Should have been much more specific. Alright, give me a white source. I mean, I kept a risky hand, and the risk did not quite work. I really have Pirate Spellbomb. Trust me. Oh. You got for me, opponent. Getting conflag here. I draw white source. I win the game here, I think. You'll do me one better, deck? You'll do me one better? Thank you. I appreciate it. You'll do me one better than a white source. You'll give me a much better than a white source. Scoop! Scoop, 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 scoop. Easy, easy, boys. Well, I'm not going to complain about that top deck. Well, if you like the video, make sure to give me a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, follow me on Twitch and Twitter in the description below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.